Hello, you're watching Base Shade Highlight, a simple guide to painting miniatures. In this video, I'm going to paint Baron Zemo from the Marvel United stretch goals. I've already primed in black with a white zenithal highlight, so let's make like a thunderbolt and get right to it. First, I'll apply the base tone of purple to the entire suit. The hood is also large enough for me to take advantage of my airbrush and apply a base coat. There's a little overspray at the borders, but that's okay, I'll clean it up later. These fur tufts get painted white. As well as the eyes. The leather of his boots, gloves, and belt will all get painted now. I'm starting with the darkest color and I'll work my way up. His crown and sword will also start with this color. This thin red wash does a fantastic job of shading all the recesses of his hood. The edges of his eyes get a black wash to help define them. I make good on my word and touch up the overspray I mentioned earlier. I begin to work up the leather and gold with this yellow. I'm using the game art you see here as a reference. Next, I apply a highlight to those same areas. To help smooth some transitions, I mix a color that's between the base and highlight tones. This giant belt buckle gave me fits, but I kept throwing paint at it until I have a somewhat acceptable result. Let's move on to the purple highlight. I'm targeting any upward facing surfaces here that would catch the overhead light. This base isn't very exciting as I paint the rocks a rather uninspired gray. Now I want to reinforce the shadows with a purple wash. My Taskmaster sword turned out okay, but I felt it could be improved. While I was airbrushing some other models, an idea came to me. I probably should have taken the time to mask his arm and prevent overspray, but we learned from our mistakes. I'm painting the top of one side of the sword a light gray, as well as the bottom of the reverse side. And then I paint a little bit less with light blue. Adding these diagonal bars in a bluish gray gives the sword a shine effect. And then a lighter gray enhances that effect. I'm also doing an edge highlight on both sides of the sword as well as down the centers. I'd really like the colors on this sword to dance, so I bring out the ivory and go over them one more time. I don't go all the way down the sword with this color. I only paint the diagonals on the lighter end of each side to help sell the effect. With this, every part of the model now has at least a base color. He's looking pretty good at this point. If I wanted to, I could land this plane or city right now and call it good. But for the sake of Sokovia, let's keep going. I'm highlighting his facial features with the light pink, At one point, I get some paint down into the mask lines on his chin, so I use a clean wet brush to remove it. There are a few more lines I want to highlight in purple. These new highlights can be defined even better with a second highlight. I can also highlight the yellows with the ivory I was just using. There's some overspray from not masking his glove earlier. I fudge things a bit and cover it now. This color wash works perfectly fine across everything on the base. Now comes the decision I've been dreading, to add those Dalmatian spots or not. This whole time I've been in favor of leaving them off, but the white area looks a little boring as is. Granted, I could have given them a proper shade and highlight. I'll stick to the game art for this one. I'll speed things up, but I'm trying not to focus more than 2 or 3 dots on any tuft and avoid repeating patterns that will catch the eye. It definitely gives him more character, but feel free to leave them out if you don't like them. The rocks on this base are pretty large, so a lazy highlight will do for the first pass. The uneven paint looks like natural stratification like you would expect to find. A lighter and more precise highlight brings out the edges. And finally, I lovingly boop each rock. Here he is complete. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the website in the description for a list of all the paints I use and recommend. Thanks for watching.